I welcome you for accepting our invitation.
Thank you so much, sir.
What made you to choose that field of endodontics?
I was clueless. Today, I will be happy even if somebody tells me we are not doctors.
What are the major struggle that you had as a endodontist? Hi, hello, welcome to the yet another episode of Confidence Speaks. We have a special guest here. It doesn't need any introduction. Good friend of mine, Dr. Aprajitan, who's a endodontist, and I know him from his UG days. Yes. And he's a multifaceted personality who has his clinic in Virudhunagar, and he also has his academy, and he's a renowned endodontist. He lectures a lot for most of the companies. You name any company related to endo is there as a lecturer, and most sought after speaker for IDA and international forums in endodontic specialization. So multifaceted individual. He has so many things to discuss. So I welcome you wholeheartedly for accepting our invitation, coming here and speaking on behalf of Confidence P. I welcome you, Api.
Thank you so much, sir. First of all, it feels very nice to be here. Personally, I also know Dr. Sindhu, sir, and I know his body of work for a very long time. And the moment I saw this show, I called him and told that this is a beautiful initiative, and I really enjoyed every bits of it. And the moment he told me immediately that, okay, why not? Let's do a show. That's how this happened. So, really, really honored to be here, sir.
Okay. Now, I have introduced you with so many things, right? So, how do I call Abhi? Abhi a endodontist, Abhi a private practitioner, Abhi a lecturer, or what is the role that defines C?
I think I'll be more happy if you just call me Abhi, sir, because one thing I personally can say proud about me is my school friends till date. When we have a ghetto, they tell me, you are never changed, man. So, the person inside me is Abhi. So, I'll be happy if you just address me that.
Yeah, that is the one which I like you a lot. So basically, but I know you professionally well. So let's start with your career. What made you to choose that field of endodontics, or you chose, or the field chose? Which one?
Just is the same story for most dentists, sir. My parents were doctors, and so I thought I should have somehow become a doctor. I had this prefix doctor in front of my name. So I missed it by a small margin, and then I was clueless. My dad told me maybe you should choose engineering. And that time I was felt disappointed. And I asked, is there any other way I can become a doctor without repeating another? He told me then maybe you can become a dentist. The only question he asked me is, can I add the prefix doctor to it? He said yes.
So there is a great debate about whether dentist can be a doctor or not.
Today, I will be happy even if somebody tells me we are not doctors. I'm proud enough to be called as a dentist. So, no regret, just close the debate. So, BDS I chose without any choice, and I never regretted because my college days was fantastic. I knew nothing about the future or the prospects, but Savita Dental College, I can probably say I'm an alumni of that. Each and every day of my college was fantastic. So at that point of time, at that stage of your life, you never think too ahead. So I was just enjoying all these days, and one fine day, my dad called me and he said, "It's time to put you in MDS." So I was like, the same dad who told me that you have to choose only based on your merit for your undergraduation. He didn't offer me an MBBS degree with a paid seat or anything. He suddenly came up and told me we can choose some branch in MDS. I was like, let me try for an year and do it. And I said, no, this time I can support you. You can do some masters. And surprisingly, like my dad is an anesthetist. He's not a doctor, I mean dentist, but he chose orthodontics for me. He came in with orthodontics. And everybody in my college knows that I wanted to become an oral surgeon. So one department that I go without bonking, one department where staff have a decent name about me, was oral surgery. I was so passionate about it. I used to read it with so much passion, practice it. So I thought I would become, I imagined myself becoming a surgeon. That was in my mind. My dad wanted me to become an orthodontist, and he told me it was a lengthy discussion. It was my first, man to man discussion between my dad and me. He said, being an anesthetist, I'm telling you, the hours that you spend in a theater is not both rewarding and it's not, as easy as you think. And MDS is a very long process as far as oral surgery is concerned because not just over after 3 years. So he told me orthodontics is a bloodless field. You can, as far as I have spoken to a few people, you can practice leisurely. That's what I want you to do. But I was reluctant to choose orthodontics for one crazy reason. The wire straightening exercise is one thing I was never able to crack till. So some of my friends did it for me and I passed. So I didn't want to join ortho as well. So endodontics, how I chose my close friend and senior, he chose PG. He was 1 year senior to me. He has already joined PG in endo. So again, I made a choice in my life without knowing what is the specialty. Do I have future? He chose it, and he told me only one thing: this field is evergreen. So at that point of time, Dr. Dinakaran from Coimbatore, this is going to be evergreen. There is going to be a lot of people, and at that point of time in Savitra, there used to be a big waiting list for endo. Ortho, orthopedo, people walk in, they get the treatment done. For endo, it's always 2-3 months waiting time to get a root canal treatment. So I also felt okay, there is demand. And my brother, he's telling me that okay, this, so I chose it blindly. That's how I decided to choose endo. And again, a lot of destiny, I would say. I wanted to do endo also in Savita. At that time, we approached it, and there was a lot of delay. Somewhere we were not able to get a seat there. So Dr. Sarath Asogan, he was from my town, and he suggested Meenakshi in Endo was very good. Professor Dr. Kandaswamy sir was there. It's a very renowned department. And to my luck, when I joined there, the department was just renovated, was a state-of-the-art center. I started enjoying it. Even then, I didn't look very much ahead in life about profession, where I'm going to settle in. So I would say yes, dentistry chose me, endodontist chose me. The dentistry chose
You to become an endodontist. Now, your career path as an endodontist, I hope it is shouldn't be a cakewalk. But what are the major struggle that you had as a endodontist?
Yeah, this is one thing I really want to talk about also for young budding endodontists, especially because endodontists, like you said, for any other field, the journey is not easy. But personally, endodontics as a society in our country, the way it's practiced, once you finish, you straight away don't have a practice where you can get a lot of patients and sit in one place and do passionately. To have your tummy filled, you have to go as a consultant, as a visiting consultant, which every endodontist watching this or endo, the youngsters will agree with me. Visiting another clinic as an endodontist, we don't do it with a lot of pressure. No, maybe it's rewarding. That is one thing we enjoy.
Financial role.
But yes, but working, every endodontist dream is to sit in his or a clinic, set up their dream type of practice, sit, work in one place. So they work hard to, make that happen someday. So every consultant coming to your clinic will also have that in mind someday. I said, so implantology, I'm not comparing it to the other field, but you may be able to work in other place also comfortably. For endo, the ergonomics, it's very stressful. So I had to do that hard thing for close to 6-7 years. So not just in Chennai, I was a consultant in 20 clinics.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And
A lot of
so the reason why I moved out of Chennai was I was stuck in traffic for more time than, working in different clinics. So I thought maybe when I move to a small town, I don't have to travel around, maybe even as a consultant, you get more quality of life. But again, there are times where I've done 30 to 40 root canals in a day.
wow.
So
See, man, 50 root canals a day.
for the consultants, no, it's not like what you charge in your practice. You have a limited pay for that. So it you will start losing, enjoying your work at that point of time. Every endodontist, when they are overloaded with cases, they may feel that, but it is needed. So I'm not telling you shouldn't go as a visiting consultant. That helps you in your initial days. That helped me a lot. And the people that they are doctors with whom I worked, I'll still look forward to them as role models. Dr. Sita Raman sir, Dr. Sudhaharan in Virudhunagar. These clinics where I visited, I have learned a lot. Great experience. Before, see, if you had asked me if I started my practice on day one, I don't know if I would have had the same wisdom of how to set up my operatory, how to set up my clinic, etc. So that's it. So going as a consultant helped you, it gives you that cushion to save some money, and then you start your practice, all those savings goes into it. Then again you're into the same boat, no? Starting from scratch, building your own practice.
When you decided that you wanted to become a full-fledged endodontist, especially that decision of going into microscopic endodontics, that is what everybody wants to know. Today, if somebody who is an endodontist, can I sit without microscope or with microscope will be the first decision. How did you crack it?
Well, it all happened over a discussion like this without a camera with Dr. Ruben, my very good friend. So we both were one fine day sitting and discussing, not again about the financial aspects of holding a microscope. We were like, we are feeling too bored of doing routine. Maybe if we buy a new toy, we can, keep exploring it. That will keep us going for another 4 5 years. And then maybe when we get bored, we can buy someone else. Sorry, just a funny way we started discussing.
All this must have come from Dr. No, Kansami sir is one day like that.
Yeah, we were blessed. See, the main point here is in Meenakshi, way back in 2006, we had 3 silent microscopes. And it was always available. Any student who wishes can bring it to their cabin and start using it. It was lying in my cabin almost all the time. And Ruben always makes fun of. He says, you have to pay more fees than the rest of us because the microscope is always lying in your cabin. So the the initiative or the urge to buy a microscope started there itself. We know it is there. And Dr. Gopi Krishna, sir, he bought his global microscope in 2006. He was using it. So the first, very first time that we had a thought, we both went for a dinner with Gopi sir, and we were like discussing, is it a bad idea? What do you think? And he immediately said, definitely a welcoming idea. You should. And that's how me and Ruben bought a microscope and he had got decided to buy a microscope based on his budget, and I decided to go for a microscope on my budget. And convincing, the biggest factor here is convincing a better half to buy a microscope. Because at that point of time, see, 11 years back, when you're talking about buying a microscope, and I'm in a tier 2 or even a type 3 city. So the question was, how is it logically possible to, invest a microscope in a small town? Do you think patients will understand the benefits of it, and will they pay extra for the microscope? So I told her only one thing and she immediately agreed. I told her I'm buying the microscope for me. Yeah. For me to work better in a more comfortable way. And hopefully the patients will agree in the coming days. And she said, yes, it makes sense and you can go ahead.
By doing that, no, what you have done, you don't know. You have made the life of future endodontists better.
Yes.
See, because now nobody needs to convince somebody who is coming for microscopic endodontics. Obviously, now most of the general dentist also knows, and general public also knows that something to do with microscope is there with endodontics.
True, very true.
I should appreciate you people for bringing about that kind of a change in endodontics, especially in India. Especially that also credit goes to South India. That is the one which I like. Then you told about tier 2, tier 3 city. I know you started your career as a general practitioner in Chennai. What made you to go to a remote place? Because many people want to start a practice, wants to start in a big city, high-funda lifestyle. From this to going to Virudhunagar, what made you to decide that?
It was a tough call because all my college life, my PG life, initial days in Chennai, My wife knows that better than anybody else. She knows that I love the city more than even the Chennaites. I know every inch and bit about Chennai. So I never even my wildest dreams thought I would move out of Chennai. I thought this is my place. This is where I'm going to be. But that's what when reality hits, no. So the decision that I made to move out of Chennai was when I was on the roads. So every day I used to think, no, how many hours that we have to spend on the roads, and these are crazy reasons, may not even make sense to most of the people. But beyond that, what I personally felt was there is enough and more competition. The cost of living is going to be very high, and I don't have a backup in the city. So maybe I could have done well. I really don't know. I don't even want to think about it. No regrets. But I felt moving to a smaller town, whenever I go as a consultant to my native, even when I was in Chennai, I used to go there every monthly once. So I always felt it was more at peace and more calm. You have your own circle. I felt you have. That is exactly. See, ultimately today, we earn wherever you practice in any part of the world. It's not that you're popular among every citizen or every person residing in the city. You're popular among your patients and X, Y, Z. They all have their patients. So just because so many clinics are coming, your patients are not going to straight away go. But that I felt was there already there for me. My circle of friends, my people, and personally, I felt people are valuing. It changed my thought. I personally felt people when I go there, they understood what is root canal treatment. They were ready to pay for the quality of treatment that you're able to give. It's made me think. Then why not? It's not, if I had to start, and my dream was to start a clinic with a microscope. My dream was to start an academy, for which I required a big space in Chennai. So I thought maybe there I can have the space. Also, there was nobody else having an academy in any other part of Tamil Nadu at that point of time. So I felt maybe, that point of time I never thought about making it big or anything. I thought I'll be a big fish in a small pond. At the same time, like, now I'm more oriented to sports, and my time that I lived in Chennai hardly had time to go for like or even afford a place to go and play sports or something. So there we had enough time to get easy access to clubs where you can go play. So I think I had the control over the time, a decent living, etc. Obviously, you will miss out on a lot of things in Chennai. So that's why I started the academy in Chennai after a gap, so that whenever I miss Chennai, I can come here, have fun in this.
Recreational Sivan. Okay. See, so yeah, it has a lot of courage to shift from Chennai to Virudhunagar, and he's very successful now. Somebody who wants to start a career as a practitioner, which one you will suggest them? Chennai, place like Chennai or bigger cities or smaller town? What is
That
the
okay. So this is important question. I saw one of your talks about selecting an area and etc. It's a very, very important topic because I would tell you, you have to make this decision based on two things.
okay?
One is your personal professional life. That I still feel the tier 2, tier 3 cities law has a lot of scope. Whereas not that there's no scope in Chennai, it's not that people cannot be successful. Yes, you can. But it's comparatively easy in tier 2 and tier 3. And with the social media awareness that is present today, I'm feeling the same treatments that is being provided in, the patients come and demand even in a small town. They ask me for full mouth implants. They come and ask. Maybe a year or two we'll be lagging behind, but it still comes there. So that is your personal, I mean, the professional life is one thing. Definitely it's going to be slightly better. But one more thing, maybe I would have considered, if you ask me, give me a second chance, is your personal life, your needs, the quality of education for your kids or something like that, or your not just you, it involves your family. So your everybody in your family needs to also be able to balance, make a choice about the lifestyle that you have in a metro city versus a lifestyle that you get in a smaller town. And when everybody are happy, a smaller town can still be very good. So what suits for me may not suit for everyone.
And It's a great example to take. That is, you don't necessarily need to settle down in a big kiss. So that is one of the reason I like you a lot and I value a lot. Now, having said that, the other part of Abhi is course director. From where did you start this idea? Because Endo, if I see from that day, there are a lot of competition as such for courses. Yeah, those who are conducting courses are many, and especially Chennai and South India. What made you to go into that field?
Sir,
Courses for
very simple. I was always being lucky to be in the right places at the right time. So, what better place than National Dental College? There was Dr. Kandaswamy sir, who was a renowned speaker globally. Everywhere in India, when I see Kandaswamy sir walking into a lecture, the people start flooding. They close the gates for people. That is inspiring. And Dr. Gopi Krishna sir, Vel Murugan sir, every one of them were, apart from their clinic and career, what I thought in my undergraduate days was study, open a clinic, just work. But when I saw these people, I felt, it gave me a high. Getting onto the stage always gives me a high. So I was fascinated, and with Dr. Gopi sir, I was working with this in his academy as a assistant at that time. I used to assist in his courses. Obviously, I felt very inspired by that. So at that point of time, I think Gopi sir was the only person who was running an endo course at that, and it was in Chennai. So I felt maybe down south there is nobody. So why not? And like, it's not that I wanted to make money alone. Obviously, there is a financial part of it too. But if that was my priority, I would have thought of a lot of other things to the other options. But teaching is very passionate for me. I enjoy teaching, and I believe that's what keeps me going. So I felt why not? And Saran Gopi sir also gave me a good motivation. He said, "Yes, down so there's nobody. You can do it. You will do well." That is the thing. So as a trial and error only started. We were skeptical whether it'll do or not, and I never worried about competition from that. And so I'm not telling this in a arrogant way. I'm telling you, you will have, just like in your practice, you have your own set of patients. When you start an academy, a person first of all decides to start an academy only when he feels he has some value. Some people can, somebody, a circle of people who are really interested to come and learn from. I felt okay, maybe we can start building that, and slowly that will only keep growing. So that is with that confidence we started, and it went well. I'm fortunate for that, and that's how it is all started.
having known you, how did you start your courses? Now, uh, how do you feel if somebody is doing a root canal? Or is it in the domain of general dentist, or how do you feel that root canal needs to be done by only endodontist or by general dentist? How do
Okay, sir. So if I have had this thought that
Mm.
only endodontists should do root canals, I would have never even started this course as an academy in the first place. So I have to think a lot before starting it.
Mm.
So when I had to think about this, like I told you, Gopi Krishna sir is always my inspiration. And having seen a lot of things happening around the world,
Mm.
when I see across the world, not just in India, endo is being done by general practitioners. Can we change that? You like it or not?
Basically,
It-
pain relief,
yes,
right?
it is a part of in UK or in the US or in Australia, the most developed countries. It is done by general practitioners.
Now, if it is done by general practice, what is the specific role that you can define for endodontist?
Yes, that's what I'm telling you. So, how it all works in the Western world, in the most developed countries, I always, whenever I'm trying to do something, I look upon the developed countries because that is where we will be somewhere down the lane. So, in the most developed countries, you see, uh, the people go to the general dentist, they do the root canal, whatever they can, and when they feel it's difficult, when they feel they cannot handle, the role of the endodontist comes into play. And not just that, there are also people who want to get work done by, like you told me, people are aware of microscopes, people who are particular that specialists have to come and do it. So there is enough tea in the cup for both. That's what I personally feel. So I never felt insecure, and I'm telling all the endodontists watching also not to feel insecure about general dentist doing endo. It's not like a super specialty like an ortho or oral surgery where you cannot think about others doing it and only you doing it. It's going to be done by others, but you have to elevate our levels, like have a microscope. Your dream should be to set up a great practice where people can refer it to you based on your skills and the armamentarium and your setup. So I'm doing enough and more root canals, and all the endodontists, my endodontist PG friend Praveen, you know him, right? He always tells me, I will always vow on that. There is no endodontist who will go jobless.
Okay. That means evergreen. You also told in the beginning also that is endo is an evergreen field. So anybody who couldn't complete the case, who couldn't finish the case, or who couldn't, if they know that they have done something wrong, please. There are endodontists who are sitting with microscope, and you can take the help of them. They definitely will oblige.
Yeah, that's exactly the point. Even in the courses, that's what I tell them. See, any day, anyway, they are going to do the endo. All the general practice are going to do the endo. Now, because of these courses, they have elevated the practice. I'm not talking about just me or other mentors globally. Because of these platforms, the areas where they can elevate, they have all elevated the work. But there should always be a clear line. You should know what are the
That
cases.
line, suppose if I'm saying I am educated and I'm getting an education from a renowned institution, what is the role of the courses? That is, see, somebody who is coming out of the college will definitely have something on endo. Now, what is the role of these courses that offer to make them better?
It's simple, sir. It's like it's not an affiliation that we are giving. It's not
Yeah.
a degree that we are going to give them. It is like few tips and tricks that can, for example, when you're doing an implant, you must have faced a lot of difficulties. You must have overcome them after facing a lot of failures. Now you will have a short trick for overcoming that.
That's value system. Probably.
Yeah,
You could put it that way.
tricks and tips is invaluable according to me because the years of experience that you're going through, you are telling that to your beginners because I have also done a little bit of implants. When my mentor tells me few things and he's more than what I learned from the college or from the book, these few inputs when they are going to give, it's like a personal mentor or a tutor you can look upon. When you have a doubt, you can ask them. They'll tell you this is a easy case. Yes, you can go ahead. So that is the comfort that you have with this kind of
So
course.
your courses more focuses on making them to do a better end.
Yes.
Now there will always be in courses, if I see, no, they want some kind of
Yes.
certification or some affiliation so that they can go and project that in foreign countries or
Yes.
in their. Now, how do you handle that?
Very simple, sir. See, when you are conducting a course or for that matter, when you're opening up a clinic in an area, we always have target audience.
Yeah.
So I feel it's a responsibility of a mentor or anybody who runs the courses to have their target audience clear and also convey it clearly to the audience. The worst disappointment will be that when your participant comes and tells, I expected something else, but this is here. So if we tell them very clearly that this is not an affiliation course, this is not a certification from this university, that university. This is a course where we share tips and tricks which will be useful. So we tell them for every course that who are the target audience? People who are practicing endo, people who want to just upskill. Or when if I'm going to do a microscope program, I tell them clearly it's for people who are already doing but who want to install a microscope. So when you do that, it's clear. There are some people who ask me, is there a certification from any abroad university? Will it be a valid for? I tell them, I don't know. My certification is just that 2 days, 2 or 3 days you are here with me. That's all. So if you're looking for something like a affiliation, you think about it.
Yeah,
Yes.
it makes quite sense. That is, I see. What is the role of a program is to make you better. So basically,
Yes.
the general practitioner should be able to practice endo because they should be able to relieve the pain. Yes, so that way, really agree and I really commend your answer that you are very clear in what you are saying. Way the participant needs to be very clear in what they want. Now, having said that, now a new endodontist, see, at 2024 or after 2020, whatever they have graduated, they want to follow it, right? They wanted to follow you. They wanted to have a specialist endo practice, or they wanted to run a course. What is your take, or what is your advice to them? Say, let's split this into two. Let's first advise for the people who wanted to run a course.
Course. Okay.
Yeah, let's hear it from you.
See, this happens every now and then. People directly come and ask you, I'm planning to start a course, and what would be your advice? And sometimes there are people who even think that maybe I will think them as a competitor, and they don't even ask me, but I may know them. They will try to, start a course thinking I may mistake them as well. It's nothing like that. See, I'm very open. If you're the first thing, the idea that you have to, when this idea pops in, you have to think about who are the people who are there. In the initial days, it's based on your super circle. It doesn't work by just Instagram posts or promotions. That is one thing I will tell them. Promotions do not just help in your courses. So people who already value you will be your first set of participants. And then from then on, those participants from word of mouth, if they tell you, they are the ones who are going to come to your courses without even having a second thought.
See, that means first you need to build a brand for yourself.
Yeah, that
That
takes
is
time. It's nothing wrong. You can start it in a small way. You can do it in what you already have. You can see people how they are, two or three people, even if two or three. I've had courses in the beginning. Everybody cancels. One participant is there. What do you do? In initial days, I said, okay, that 2 days is fine. Let me train them. And later on, that one person may refer somebody, or that is how you build the numbers. That's exactly like building your practice.
That's very hard to accept in front of the camera. I really congratulate you for that. See, that's the thing. Now the second part that you need to advise then is, how do they become a specialist endodontist, okay, or specialist practitioner in endodontics?
See, for the new endodontists, I believe now they have much more clarity than what we used to have because of the exposure. In the college, they are exposed to microscope because according to the DCA norms, every PG department has to have microscopes, and some good colleges, they go beyond, they have a lot of microscopes. Most of the colleges that I'm recently visiting are upgraded. So they have the exposure there itself. And we have so much of content on Facebook, so much of national conferences or international forums where you go and see the body of work of people, how they do abroad, and then you can compare it and decide. But you should have a goal someday, that a dream practice, like what you say, how it's going to be according to you. Slowly start working on it. If you have the initial funds, straight away, there's nothing that you have to, go through the grind and only. That's of our generation. We used to always tell them, go through the grind and then we can set up. Now, if you have the funds, why not start the practice?
As a
Slowly build it.
specialist,
Yes.
yeah, the clinic only treats endo cases, but also referred endo cases.
Yeah, provided you develop the skills, like I tell you. So
Yeah.
that skills developing is very important. If your postgraduate curriculum itself gives you that skill, great. If not, there are a lot of courses, short term, long term courses, somehow, or not just courses, you work on it. That's how me and Ruben.
Yeah.
The
How important in here a mentor? I know you had some mentors, and
Yes.
Ruben had some mentor. How important for the new generation people is the mentor to become a specialist endodontist?
That's what it says. It's dependent on the skill set that already they're exposed in the college that they're studying. The master's program is very important in that way. In the college, if you're, for example, in Savita, Meenakshi Dental College, I'm just randomly naming them few colleges, doesn't mean the other colleges are not good. When I'm talking about the few colleges that I know, there they are getting enough and more of exposure, patient flow, guidance, mentorship there itself. So if they develop the skill set there, it's not that you always need another mentor away from. So I can straight away, if you're feeling confident enough, you can go ahead. But for people who feel that lack of confidence, they can even work in some endodontist practice, some for a short term, observe what they're doing, and this it's all a little bit of fine tuning. The skill is already there. It's just that you're fine tuning your skills to the level you can handle everything on your own someday. Even after you start your practice, it's a learning curve.
Yeah.
See, when I started microscope, I never knew how to remove an instrument. Until date, I can openly admit Dr. Ruben removes instruments better than me. So there's nothing wrong in it. I'm still on the learning curve. So when you accept your limitations than your strength, that's when growth begins. That's what I believe.
And he has one more phase also, the YouTuber. I like that part very much. That is Endo Tales, right?
Yes.
I think 2011 or something, you started reviewing some product. And where did that start from?
So it's again an interesting story because, like you said, in 2011, there was this no big buzz about YouTube, social media. Not everybody wanted to become a YouTuber, etc. That was not my idea too. But somehow, from my undergraduate, by the time I was finishing my undergraduation days, I was very keen in making short films, editing. I had so much interest in the way you use cameras, editing most importantly. So I even considered making short films and then I realized that I'm not as good as the cinephile people, so that's not my cup of tea too. So when suddenly this idea popped in, why not make these videos of education online? Basically, not because many people will see it. I didn't even know people will see it, but I was in love with the editing, making of the video. So, the first time we think we made a video about a particular rotary file, I think it's Cybrando K3XF. I just made it in my own way. Then when I look back at that, now I know the lighting, all that, what are the mistakes that you made.
I
So
liked a lot, and the content was really enjoyable. And mostly, we don't know much about the new thing, and nobody wants to experiment that thing. But you did that experiment and you showed it. Now, today, what is that you are doing with YouTube?
today, I wanted to start this YouTube. I will continue posting in YouTube mainly for my course participants to update on them. See, you were coming for a workshop today. 1 year later, I will change the way I teach, or a new system comes in, the new protocol comes in. I feel a little guilty. 1 year back, I taught them something, they will still continue doing the same. So that was mainly targeted for them. If there is a new file, new gadget, a small review for my participants, which they can review. When I started seeing that the reach was getting better, people started, then it's like the YouTube knows how to grow itself.
No.
Your channel knows always, because there will be comments on requesting
Something
something else.
Yeah, some
Then you feel,
doubts will be
yeah,
there, and that will become part
that
of
will
the
become a
next one.
part of it. And initial days, we all made long videos. So
Ah.
I had the freedom. There was no editing time limit.
Mm.
I make a video and decide, and then see that it's 20 minutes long. 20. I upload it just like that. But Instagram Reels was challenging.
Wow.
That was a game changer. No, you have to consider. So I have to plan my content. I have to make the content for 90 minutes and then do this dubbing or whatever and make it 90 minutes. It's interesting, but it's fun because now the time for making a YouTube video, long video, I have to sit 2 days to make a video. Even now, if anyone of you are wondering why there are no videos for a long term, I have when you sometimes you have to dedicate it. When I'm literally free, I do it. But Instagram Reels, you can make it pretty quick and short. And personally, I enjoy watching things in a very short note. So the content is conveyed very quickly, no? So micro scrolling is become a habit for all of us. So you have to
You have to
you
move
have to
from
move from
YouTube to
short.
short
Even in YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels.
Instagram Reels. That's what I can understand. So now, uh, I know you as a practitioner, uh, a dentist, specialist endodontist, educator, lectures, and lecturing all over the country. Now, and you have a YouTube and you have a sports person. How do you manage the time? That's the next question that comes in everybody's
Okay.
mind.
Uh yes, sir. That's this from a distance. When you're looking at any person who's multitasking, you may feel they are doing perfect with time management, but only the person or the person involved around in every aspect of this knows that it's always not you will not be able to balance everything. That's not something that I always tell people to do. Also have 2 or 3 things that's much more easy to manage, because see, when I have workshops, I have to compromise on my clinic. When I travel for lectures, especially abroad, it's a big gap. I start feel a little guilty because a lot of times I'm absent in the clinic. Yes, my patients wait. As of now, that's okay with me, but Then the family time, that also comes into play. When I start creating space for example, I go for a cricket tournament, it's 2 to 3 days off again. So what I start doing is when 2 or 3 times they give me an invite, I started going only once. So they are also little unhappy with
Yeah.
me. So when you multitask, you always compromise uh, on the quality of time with one particular aspect. Instead, uh, somebody who's just a practitioner, a little recreation and personal family time, nobody's going to complain. And there's one thing that you will never be complained about is having more family time.
Okay.
So
Your
do that.
family never complains about it,
Yeah.
probably.
Yes. The family always never going to complain about it. So whenever possible, do more of that. But doesn't mean you shouldn't have fun for yourself, work, life balance, all that you need to balance.
Yeah, that's a wonderful answer. Now, going for the future, do you think endodontics has a lot of future, or what should be the next step for endo?
Okay. To be very honest with you for this question, see, as a proud, passionate endodontist, I always, no, never consider my field low or I want to feel
Nobody's
superior.
considering the field as
No, I'm just telling you, endo, I felt that way. But uh, recently, what I started feeling is when I go for conferences,
Hmm.
if there is an endo lecture,
Hmm.
irrespective of the speaker, you will see the halls getting filled. That is how it was in the past. Whereas some other field, people may choose and go. But now I'm seeing equal importance for a lot of other fields. That's a good thing because you have implants, you have uh,
Really?
uh, prosthodontics, and you have even occlusion.
Hmm.
You're seeing more of occlusion related, TMD related. So it's good that dentistry is diversifying. Each and every branch is getting its own equal importance. But at the same time, endo will always remain evergreen. So endo's future, if you see, that is one thing. Uh, I don't think there is ever going to be a day where we will not require root canals. Endodontists are still focusing more towards conservation, vital pulp therapy. So maybe we will be doing fewer root canals if patients' awareness increase,
Hmm.
but still we'll be doing a lot of conservative procedures. So we have something to do.
He predicts that number of root canals will come down, but unfortunately, it depends on the patient there to follow.
Now, provided
Uh,
patient awareness comes.
yeah, that's the one thing. Now, uh, let's move on to the final one. Something which you wanted to tell to endodontist community. What is that? You can tell them.
Okay. I feel endo, when you do in our college days, myself and my fellow endodontists, endo PG, we will have a competition between us. Who's finishing it first?
Okay.
So I was popular those days that I can finish a root canal in 10-15. So now I realize those are cases I never want to see again. So it's not about how fast you do, how quickly, or the number of cases that you're done. More than that, I believe it's responsible endodontics. When you do a root canal treatment, you have to think that this tooth may or should never require another endodontic intervention, or at least you should delay it as much as possible so that implantologists can wait. When an endodontist does his job better, the implantologist should wait. And one more thing, from the financial perspective also, I feel it's the responsibility of all us endodontists. I personally believe
Hmm.
endo deserves a lot of skill and fine work. It will test your patient a lot of time. So someday, I believe endo we should be able to charge equivalent to what an implantologist charge for a single implant, because a tooth, you're going to preserve it, give life to it. So don't cut
Uh,
your fees down to, you may think that you are doing that to thrive in this competition, but that's not very true. Someday quality will be appreciated more. As your practice grows, you'll appreciate that. So be financially happy so that you have the independence and you can have all other things that we are discussing, like a balanced life. At the end of the day, that is more important. So, but for the amount of charges that whatever you do justice.
That's wonderful answer. So I think most of the endodontists watching, general dentists watching will be very much benefited. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's what the confident speak wants. And you made a very confident speech about your life, your decisions. I thoroughly enjoyed speaking to you. That's why I called you a big.
Same
Thank
here.
you.
Yes, I thoroughly enjoyed. Thank you so much, and best wishes for you to continue this. It's wonderful. A lot of people will benefit out of it. Keep doing it. I know you are busy, but still keep doing it.
The one
People will
we
enjoy.
enjoy, we always will do. Thank you once again. Thank you, people. Please like, share, subscribe, and you can also share this to so many of your friends who may be listening or maybe having decision making tougher. I think that is what confidence speak looks for. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you. Let us meet with some other new guest at some other time. Thank you.